it's very easy for us to blindly follow in the name of a God, whatever God it might be, depending on the one that you believe in. But at what point do you draw the line between blind following, believing in a God, and of course being brainwashed? Obviously no longer a crime of religion. It's also more about people being killed and people who've been misled, because I hear that more and more bodies are being dug up from the land where that pastor owns in that county.
Yes, we've been following up this story for about 2 weeks here in Kenya. And recently I got the opportunity to write a piece on the story. And as of yesterday, we had 58 dead people.
Wow.
And today morning, I think the death toll has actually increased. It's now at 73. And most of these people are said to have starved themselves to death because they believe that they're going to see Jesus. And they say that this pastor, who has been identified as Pastor Paul Makenzie, told them to starve themselves to death so that they can go to see Jesus. And then also, after doing my research, it's been, okay, there's some people, some other sources are saying that this guy actually took advantage of the COVID situation in 2020, where parents did not have enough school fees to send their kids to school because of the low economy and the cash crunch.
Yes.
And there's some videos circulating where some of these children who were recruited to this cult are saying that they did not go to school and their parents are not taking them to school because Jesus did not go to school. So I think it's taking advantage of the fact that these people are illiterate. They're illiterate and they do not know they don't have exposure to the world, because some of these people actually travel miles to go to Kilifi counties, like traveling from Nairobi to Dar es Salaam,
Wow.
And then they went there because they wanted to see this pastor. They wanted to go and see Jesus. They were promised a good life, And it's really sad and disheartening that this is actually happening to Kenya, because I didn't expect that our president and First Lady are very staunch Christians. So I'm wondering how this is happening. 2 interviews, one with a person who says his wife disappeared on the 14th of, I think it was the 7th of April. And then the other person we spoke to was somebody who was one of the victims who was rescued. And then there's one person who was not on camera that was rescued, but did not want to be rescued because she still believed that Pastor Mackenzie wanted them to go and see Jesus. So apparently when the police found her and they wanted to rescue her and give her food and all that, she was like, no, you guys just leave me alone. I want to go and meet Jesus. So for this other guy who we talked to, he apparently said that he found a ticket from Nairobi to Malindi. Those are totally different towns.
Yes.
And provinces. So this ticket was a one-way ticket, and the wife left their home in the morning and did not return with the kids. So he went there hoping and wishing that he'll find the wife, but and after those raids and rescuing victims there, he did not see his wife. So most likely the wife is dead. So when we spoke to him, he was just lamenting. Well, by the way, the guy is from Nigeria, so his wife was Nigerian. So this guy, most of his followers were actually from Nigeria, others from West Africa, and majority of them were actually from Kenya, So this guy was saying how his wife was actually very, she just really believed in Pastor Makenzie, that Pastor Makenzie was going to salvage them from their misery and all those things, It was just a really weird experience, talking to this guy. And then the other guy who was one of the victims, he just said that this guy really convinced them, like had them, I don't know if it was brainwashed or hypnotized, because he traveled from his country, from his town in 2021, and he can't recall what happened throughout this time that he was there. So the only time he remembers is the police coming to rescue him. So he also said that they used to fast for like 6 days, and then he gives them a break of like 1 day, and then they go back to fasting.
Wow.
And then also another thing to note is this guy apparently used to make this guy sell, these victims of his sell their land, and then he makes them put this land into his name. So he had an 800 acre piece of land in Shakahola in Malindi County.
Wow.
And you know, Malindi is one of the most touristic areas. People from all over the world go to Malindi. So it's like he was living off these people.
Yes,
so
yes.
I don't understand what's happening.
Why do you think that Africans are so gullible when it comes to religion?
Honestly, I feel at first I thought it was because of the fact that most of us are not yet educated. You know, back in the rural areas, we have so many people who have not gone to church, to school. And most of these pastors tend to take advantage of the guys who have no knowledge of the present world. But also, I came to realize that yesterday when I was having this discussion with my colleagues at CGTN, some politicians are actually members of this church. So I don't think it's a societal thing. I don't think it's something to do with whether you're rich or whether you're poor. I just feel like it's somebody's own will, as your colleague earlier mentioned when we were on break. Yeah, it's somebody's own will. Because you can take a cow to the well, but you can't force it to drink water. Yeah, so it's somebody's own free will.
Wow.
But in the case of the young children who went there, I think we are to blame their parents, because how would you subject your own children there? Because I even saw a story where the pastor told one of the parents who are members of the church to strangle and to strangle and to suffocate their children, and that's what.
I saw that video yesterday. I think you and I were. Oh my goodness! We cannot put that video up anywhere because it's distressing.
The police are still doing further investigations. They're still exhuming more bodies, so we expect to see the death toll rising in the course of the day and in the course of the week. This is the 5th day we actually still investigating and exhuming bodies. And then as of yesterday, the pastor had refused to take water or drink, or eat. He says he's fasting until he's, released from prison. So we don't know whether he'll, accept to eat. And definitely he's going to be arraigned in court.